Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and CosmicPotatoNetwork.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man.
That's a big one.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
You see these flying? We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G, episode 275. I'm Troy.
Troy is literally one of a kind. He's a goblin or a hobbit or a kobold, which is a type of gremlin.
I'm AJ.
AJ, what kind of name is AJ? Oh, you race cars?
So, we haven't done this segment in a while, so I thought I'd bring it back this week. It's Today in Geek History.
Look, up in the sky! It's a bird!
It's a plane!
And today in Geek History!
So, on this day, July 12th, in 1976,
Going back a couple of years.
the first Family Feud game show debuts on ABC, hosted by Richard Dawson.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Family Feud?
Occasionally. Yeah, that wasn't like my go-to TV show as far as game shows go.
What was your go-to?
I really did like, I don't know, for whatever reason I liked Wheel of Fortune, but that's probably because I watched it with my grandparents.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
How about yourself? It's
Yeah.
had, okay, do you have a favorite Family Feud host? Because it's been revised and
It has.
redone.
It has. Yeah.
The formula is the same.
Yeah, there was Richard Dawson. There was what was the guy after him? Hang on, let me look it up real quick. Family Feud hosts.
Troy, you guys don't see this, but Troy has got himself 2 monitors here.
I do.
Yeah.
Feel all fancy.
He's got one to check our volumes and make sure that, everything is going smooth over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also Google stuff on the other one.
On the other one. Yep.
Boom.
I know how to podcast. So, Richard Dawson from 1976 to 1985. Ray Combs from 1988 to 1994. Louis Anderson from 99 to 2002. Richard Karn.
Louis Anderson, that was a really interesting choice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Richard Karn.
The voice actor, right?
Yeah, and comedian.
Yeah.
Richard Karn, Al from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
2002, 2006. John O'Hurley, 2006 to 2010. And then Steve Harvey from 2010, current.
Yeah.
So,
Steve Harvey's been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I didn't realize it's been that long. It's been 10 years.
Dang.
So I would say my favorite...
Because they have to play off of the people's reactions, right?
Yeah.
That's their main job. I mean, yeah, they go out of the top 100 people surveyed, and read the question, but then it's reacting to those things. So there is a little bit of comedic timing that goes along with it.
I would say probably my personal favorite, honestly, was Richard Karn.
Okay.
I think he was the best all-around, well-rounded host.
Yeah.
Richard Dawson was, or Dick Dawson as I like to call him, he was really good with the contestants.
Yeah.
He was very personable. Ray Combs was a better all-around host. He was more of a game show host.
There was a couple of hosts. I don't know if it was necessarily from this game, but they would always get kissed. They would kiss the women.
Yeah, it was Richard Dawson.
Was it?
Yep.
Okay. I was I'm pretty sure he was pretty known for that.
And not just that, European air kiss on the side. No, it was straight on the lips.
Yeah.
Old, young, didn't matter to him.
Yeah. Well, you can't really, I don't think you could really, pick and choose. And I thought about doing that once I got back from my religious walkabout because that was a big, huge European thing, is to kiss on the cheek. Yeah. I'm like, damn it. But then I'd have to like kiss both, everybody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, yeah.
Can't be picky.
No.
You're gonna do it.
And neither could he.
Gonna do it, go all the way. I was never a big fan of Louis Anderson as a host.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of him in general.
No.
He's
made for voice acting.
Yeah, I liked his. Yeah, he's got a great face for voice acting.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I really liked his cartoon. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really good. John O'Hurley, who you'll know from Seinfeld, he was Elaine's boss that ran the fashion magazine.
Yeah.
The heck was his name?
He looks a lot like Mitt Romney. Just kind of that big hair, longer face, purge vibe going on.
And then Steve Harvey. I know a lot of people like Steve Harvey as a host, but me personally, it just seems like he's trying a little too hard to be funny.
They do put, like, I've noticed with like watching some of the episodes with Steve Harvey, they do try to put more sexual questions in there occasionally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water went down the wrong pipe.
Well, a lot of the times, even with like other shows, they'll do this, or other hosts, but they kind of throw in these questions. It's like, you know, what's the number one thing to do in the bedroom?
Yeah.
You know, or just to get ratings and to get like a funny little blip that they can show on their ads.
Right. Or on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, to me, Richard Karn, or as I like to say, Dick Karn.
Yeah. Carnage Dick.
He was just the best all around. He was good with the contestants, but he was also a good host, and he was funny when he needed to be, but didn't try to be too funny.
Is that the TV show that you would host if you had to pick anyone?
Family Feud?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No. What would I host? No, I would host Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
Because Pat Sajak doesn't do dick on that show.
Yeah.
He stands there and they roll the thing and he goes...
Vanna, like, does more.
Yeah. He goes, $700. G. No G. Roll the thing, $1,000. S. No S. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Now, that's a pretty sweet gig.
That really is. And I imagine that he gets paid like a ton.
Mm. See, I would say Jeopardy, but Jeopardy, you have to have some, I don't want to say you have to have some intelligence.
Charisma?
Not so much charisma, but because the questions can be very involved and very smart.
And you
sometimes it would be hard to... For me, it'd be hard to pronounce everything.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the hard part.
That, and then also you'd have to, like, after you say that's correct, or you'd have to be like, oh, that wasn't phrased in the form of a question, you have to listen to their answers a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, there's a little bit more involved. That makes sense. What about one of those, like, zany, over-the-top, kind of just, like the, they've got a couple of shows out now, like The Floor is Lava. And some of those stupid shows.
Oh my god, I watched that. I watched like the first couple episodes.
Same.
And I was like,
I only watched one, and it was too cringeworthy.
This is stupid.
Yeah, I kept having to fast forward whenever like the people would come on and try to make something like funny or say something funny. Yeah. Fast forward, fast forward.
And I
finished those episodes in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
the first episode.
On that first episode. There were like those bros.
Yeah, the triplets.
The triplets.
Yeah, all wearing America. It wasn't just like American shirts. Yeah, they were wearing tank tops. Yeah.
I couldn't get 5 minutes with those guys.
I know this isn't
I'm done.
I know this isn't our time for like reviews, but don't waste your time with that show.
Yeah, don't watch it.
It's stupid.
Don't watch it.
It would be kind of fun to try. Like, because it wasn't, like, the most difficult part was them jumping from one of those Easter Island heads down to the other one.
Yeah.
everything else was, I mean, that and holding on to the ropes as like somebody like cranks that thing across.
It also looks like that pyramid is pretty tough too.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, but if you were to put the painting up against it and leave it there, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't utilize the painting all that much.
No.
Like they did once and then like they just...
Okay, we don't need it anymore, or throw it in the lava.
Yeah.
Which I did hear that the lava, air quotes, it is actually colored water, but it's like heated up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, pretty hot temperatures, so they actually kind of get like a sense of urgency.
You get all sweaty and
right.
While
you're slipping as you're trying to hold on to this pyramid.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's dumb. Don't watch it.
No.
Okay. Anyway. Oh, we didn't ask what you'd host. What game show you'd host? If you had the choice.
That I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. It would be pretty straightforward with like a Jeopardy show. Oh, I think I would know. Family Feud. I think
really?
I really would like that. I think it would be a lot of fun to just like make fun of people for their stupid answers and like joke around with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be good for you. You tend to be a bit more personable than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, plus like I've had to learn to do this, being like a co-host here, is reacting or saying stuff off of what you do and kind of like, elaborating.
Sure.
So yeah.
Okay.
I think it'd be pretty fun.
All right. Awesome.
You've thrown up a question on Facebook.
Yes.
Recently. So
let's get into this week in Geek.
This week in
Geek.
Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it.
My brain had to reboot there for a second. So yeah, I literally found this just as you were driving over here. And apparently this has kind of been trending on Twitter. So the article says, you may have noticed that lots of big franchise names are trending on Twitter. X-Men, MCU, DCEU, and Sony are all hot topics, and we think we've traced the origin. This morning, a Twitter user at Ambarish17 asked the question, okay, comic book movie fans, let's do this. Choose your favorite movie from each of the following franchise: X-Men, MCU, DCEU, and Sony Marvel films. So Spider-Man 1 through 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 through 2, etc. So some of the people, well, I'll get into their answers. Let's talk about our answers first.
Yeah.
So, favorite X-Men film. I'm pretty sure I know what yours is.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Logan. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I did have to think on it for a second because I really did like X2.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got Nightcrawler in there, and that opening scene, I was hooked.
Yeah, X2 is the best of that trilogy. That
right.
First trilogy.
And then what was the last one that was with the that was like, it was an X-Men movie that was like a lot better than what we'd expected it to be.
Oh, Rise of the Phoenix?
Rise of the Phoenix, yeah. That one was, I don't know, that was a pretty solid movie, yeah.
It wasn't bad.
I was pleasantly surprised.
People give it a lot of crap, but it wasn't bad.
Right.
Okay, so Logan for you.
Yes.
For me, it's X-Men Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Because I love that they threw in both the old X-Men and the new X-Men.
Yeah.
And Wolverine was going back and, back to the 70s. And yeah, it was really fun. It was fun to see like all the younger versions of everybody. And
for the most part, they actually did a pretty bang-up job. Like, it's kind of iffy and hit or miss if it's going to actually work with an older and a younger version of them, right? Yeah. I mean, you get, like, the It movie franchise and some of those where you're like, wow, this kid, like, that's what he could grow up to look like, and that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
And some of these ones that, like, completely missed the mark. But for the most part, X-Men, I thought they did a solid job.
And I love seeing all the X-Men die. I don't know. That was just very satisfying to me.
Yeah.
I like seeing Storm get run through by a Sentinel. That made me happy. So yeah, that's mine. So now, we've talked about this, I think, at length, but
yeah,
I will put a little bit of a addendum, not an addendum, addendum on it, which is with the MCU, it can't be a big crossover film. Okay? So, not Infinity War, not Endgame,
not Age of Ultron, not
Age of
Avengers.
Ultron, Civil War, just like a standalone movie for that character.
Oh, then easy. Yeah.
I think I know
what
what yours is.
What is that, Trey?
I think it's the same as mine, which is the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
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 Well, actually, I might have to say, like, what is it? Captain America
The First Avenger?
First Avenger. Yeah. I loved that kind of a movie where this scrawny little kid from the Bronx, like, gets these superpowers and, you know, he can't do much with, like, the flagpole and, like, they have, like, all those different things. I liked seeing that side of Captain America as well. That given these powers to the right person, he can do great things.
Right. Okay.
And I did like Red Skull as a villain. But, like, Winter Soldier, man, it's a flip of a coin, dude. Like, honestly. Well, because I was thinking that because they had so much of Bucky in there, who becomes a bigger character, is that technically a crossover?
No, I think because Bucky started in that franchise,
right?
So when he did go on to cross over in other films, but he started there.
Okay.
So I would say no, that's not a crossover.
Okay. Then yeah, those are pretty solid picks. Otherwise, if you're just saying, like, favorite MCU movie, what are you going with?
This overall?
Yeah.
It's got to be Endgame.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it has to be. I mean, but my pick would be the same as yours, which would be the First Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think it's the most cinematic of the MCU films. Like, it doesn't rely a lot on superpowers. It feels more like, you know,
feels pretty grounded.
Yeah, it feels like a spy film.
Mm-hmm.
And that's set in the superhero world, and I like that.
Yeah.
But Endgame, here's the thing about Endgame. That was going to either make or break everything that they had done.
Right.
If Endgame sucked, everything fell apart.
Right.
Endgame had to be
everything people were expecting.
Yeah. Endgame had to be everything. And it was.
Yeah.
It completely knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've heard so many cheers in a theater than I did in Endgame.
True.
I mean,
like in any movie.
Yeah. Almost every scene had somebody was cheering about something.
I heard a lot of cheers in The Grudge. No, just kidding.
Purge had a lot of cheers, oddly enough.
Yeah.
So DCEU.
I'm sure you can probably guess again.
Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the villain as much as I've liked some of the other villains in other movies.
Ares?
Yeah, Ares would have been perfectly fine and, like, a good choice had he looked a little bit closer to the comic book version of him.
Had he actually looked menacing?
Yeah.
And not Professor Lupin?
Yeah. This is scrawny dude with a mustache that you can see his face into it.
Yeah.
Rather than it being, like, dark and all you see are these, like, red eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love if when he turned into full Ares and he got huge and he had the red eyes and really
you can't see anything like in his face. Yeah,
that would have been cool.
He just didn't seem that menacing to me.
For me, I'm sure you can guess mine.
Man of Steel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I know
it gets a lot of hate.
Again, I know it gets a lot of crap. I know, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Actually, I think I might watch it again today. I don't know.
Just because.
So, let's get to Sony films. Sony Spider-Man films.
Yes.
So we have the Tobey Maguire films.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. We have The Amazing Spider-Man.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. We have...
Are we just getting rid of, like, the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, they aren't very good.
I did like that they had, like, some Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
You know, when Gwen Stacy dies.
There are the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, those are Sony films.
True.
Homecoming and Far From Home.
Yes.
And we also have Venom.
Yeah.
And Into the Spider-Verse.
Right.
So,
which that is going to be my pick. Into the Spider-Verse. It was fantastic. Yeah. Although, see, it's right there. As far as Spider-Man movies go, I think that in contention would have to be Spider-Man 2. Right? Doc Ock.
Yes.
Fantastic job. Into the Spider-Verse, and then the only one that can really compare, what's the first one? It's not Far From Home. Is it Homecoming? Homecoming. Those would be the three I would think that it would be a debate between, right?
Right.
Are any others really in the mix?
No.
No? Yeah?
No.
How about yourself, Troy?
It's such a toss-up, just like you with Captain America, between Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 2.
Right.
Like, it really is. Like, it's a coin flip.
A coin. Mm-hmm.
I have loved Spider-Man 2 since it came out.
Yeah.
I think it's such a good superhero film. But then Into the Spider-Verse is just so... The way it was animated and...
The style
is so stylistic, and it's
I loved how he, like, as he's going along, they even changed the frame rate on him, how clunky he was compared to, like, a veteran Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just... Okay, if I had to pick...
Yeah.
It's gotta be Into the Spider-Verse.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's see what some people on Twitter said. Let's go up here. Okay. So, this person said, Amy D, said Days of Future Past, Winter Soldier, Batman v Superman.
What? Okay, she had a decent opinion, and I was just like, all right, I'll listen to what she has to say, and now, nope.
Yeah.
All credibility gone.
And they said, is there anything else for Sony? And she did a pic on Twitter, but I don't know. I'm not going to see what that is. This person said Days of Future Past.
Yes.
Captain America's The Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Toss up between Wonder Woman, Birds of Prey, and Into the Spider-Verse.
Not Birds of Prey. No. Did you get around to seeing it?
No.
Good.
This person, Logan, Iron Man, Birds of Prey, and Into the Spider-Verse.
Doing good up until, like, that... Man, that DC movie.
Logan,
yeah.
Civil War,
yeah.
Batman v Superman, Into the Spider-Verse.
What the hell?
X-Men Origins. Is that Wolverine? Are they talking about Wolverine?
Yeah.
Infinity War, Wonder Woman, Into the Spider-Verse. Days of Future Past, Civil War, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Deadpool 2.
I forgot even about the Deadpool movies in the mix.
Yeah.
Troy, you didn't even mention that. You purposely left them out. You're like, oh yeah, we also have you even have Venom, but like purposely leave out X-Men movies.
I'm not gonna say I didn't not do that.
Yeah. I still wouldn't have like picked it, but yeah.
Avengers Endgame, Batman v Superman again, and first Spider-Man. Logan, Infinity War, Wonder Woman, Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Logan, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Shazam and Spider-Man 2. Shazam for me is number 3.
As far as DC movies go?
Mm-hmm. It's Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and then Shazam.
Okay.
And then Aquaman. Well, those two are interchangeable, I think.
Right. Shazam, I wasn't the biggest fan where everybody gets powers. Like all the other kids. That was kind of a little hokey.
Yeah, and that's kind of a throwback to the comic.
Correct.
Yeah, the whole Marvel family, but yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I put that up on our World War G page. Do we have... Ooh, looks like we have a response.
We will judge their opinion on the air.
Well, Brandon Nance said it's tough, but if I had to choose, it'd be Infinity War. I don't think you understood the question. We wanted...
All of them?
All of them.
Well, that's good. That's a pretty solid pick.
It's a good pick. But for me, Infinity War, it's just kind of a stepping stone to Endgame.
Yeah.
You know?
But it was showcasing Thanos.
True.
Thanos was kind of like a little bitch in the next one. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, he's just kind of like sitting on his own little world. Oh, I've accomplished everything that I need to. I'm just going to kind of like chill here and live a peaceful, tranquil life now that I've done, this deed.
I think that's what his plan was the whole time.
Really?
Yeah. After he accomplished what he needed to do, he went back and just chilled on his farm. Made his armor into a scarecrow.
Yeah. Which made perfect sense.
Again, straight out of the comics, but anyway.
Yeah. They can still take some liberties with it. It's not like they have to follow everything to a T with the comics.
True.
It's their adaptation or their... What would you have had him do?
Thanos?
Yeah, instead of just like... Would he have just been like ruling the galaxy?
I think it would have been cool if he became like the universe leader.
Mm-hmm. He's just like, I'm your supreme leader. Everybody, like,
I mean, how harder would it have been for the Avengers to get to him when he still had the Infinity Stones and he was, like, all-knowing and all-seeing?
Yeah.
Like...
We made it much more of a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you have Captain Marvel and kind of, take on anybody.
Well, even she had issues.
True.
There. But it would have been cool, like, because they still would have had to have gone back in time to get the stones. It would have been cool if he would have shown up occasionally.
Right.
Because he knew that's what they were doing.
Right.
So he, like, showed up back in time as well. And
similar to, like, I don't know, I know you haven't played the Resident Evil franchise, but you've got, like, that big bad nemesis.
Right.
Or, Mr. X that just, like, shows up at the most inconvenient times. You're trying to solve this, like, puzzle, and then all of a sudden they bust in the door, and you have to run like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that would have made for a more interesting, challenging thing than Captain America just, oh yeah, I can just do this. I'll just go through time, put everything back.
And I thought it would have been cool if, like they kind of did with Days of Future Past, if they showed several Avengers getting killed.
Yeah.
And then had to go into the past to change that because if they...
Nope, we got to change that. Yeah. Show,
like, Black Widow biting the dust or Hawkeye or,
Like, no, wait, but we need Black Widow for a further thing because then she's going to sacrifice herself later on.
Right.
But it's not going to work otherwise. Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, hop on our Facebook page. Give us your picks.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know. Okay.
Continuing along with, like, movies and whatnot, Wal-Mart looks to be turning $160 parking lots into drive-in movie theaters. With the movie theaters remaining closed around the country due to the coronavirus pandemic, Walmart has come up with a plan to help moviegoers get a similar big screen experience while staying socially distant. Beginning in August, and it's going to be running until October, 160 of their stores will be turned into parking lot drive-in movie theaters. The company is partnering with Tribeca Enterprises. I believe that they do like a lot of different movie theaters back east.
Oh, Tribeca.
There you go.
Yeah.
For the drive-in tour that runs through October. Walmart says in addition to details with the announcement, they are also going to be offering and allowing people to place orders, and they will bring it out to their vehicles. So you can kind of fill your picnic basket and have all the snacks that you would need to watch a movie. Which is kind of an interesting... I mean, I get that while they're doing that, is there's like, hey, well, we want to make money while we're doing this, right?
Right.
And whenever I'd go to whenever we'd go to like a drive-in movie, we'd usually stop at Walmart anyways to get some snacks and food and stuff, and then go there. I know that's kind of bad because, you know, these drive-in movie theater places need to make some money somehow. But yeah, we'd get like stuff for like sandwiches or dinner or snacks and load up and then head over. Because it's like there's a Walmart and then like 2 minutes or just 2 miles down the road, there's a drive-in movie theater.
Right. Yeah.
It didn't say like how frequently they would be showing these movies, but it looks like they're going to be showing them fairly often. You can actually go over to walmartdrive-in.com for more details. I've gone over to that website and it just says like, hey, you know, coming soon. We're going to have more details when it gets a little bit closer, but that's their plan. I feel like Walmart is actually one of the bigger franchises that would be capable of doing something like this, just because not only do they have the parking lot space, but they're also really good at handling large crowds, like with Black Friday.
Yeah.
Of ushering people and getting people out and in.
My whole thing is, I don't want to go to Walmart to watch a movie.
Yeah. Depending on the movie though, right? Maybe. Could draw you in.
But, I mean, and me, I'm just not a fan of drive-in movies to begin with.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Your hatred towards them.
I don't hate them.
It's okay, Troy. It's okay. You're in a safe place.
I don't hate them. I just prefer a movie theater.
Right.
I don't want to sit in my car.
Have you ventured out to the movie theater?
No.
In the name of the podcast, we might have to go out and see one of these things just to kind of experience it and to give our take on it to say whether other people should do it or not. I'll invoke the podcast, Troy. If you wouldn't do it for, you know, like the movie or for this country, do it for the podcast, damn it.
See a movie for your country.
Yes. God bless World War G.
All right. I'll have to mask up, I guess.
Now is not the time for fear, Doctor. As you mask up.
That comes later. Okay. So, you know, I'm a fan of the Ready Player One.
Yes.
Novel and movie.
Yeah. One of the rare books that you've read in recent years.
It's true. It sounds bad, but it's true. Yeah, I was a huge fan of the movie. I saw it probably like 5 times, I think, in theaters.
You had to catch all the Easter eggs.
True.
Yeah.
Well, Ready Player 2, novelist Ernie Klein's sequel to his best-selling Ready Player 1, will be published by Penguin Random House imprint Ballantine Books on November 24th in North America. The publishing house announced today. The book can be pre-ordered beginning today. I don't know when this was. International publication dates will be announced in coming months and are expected to exceed the 58 countries and 37 languages in which the original was released.
This dude definitely had a golden ticket after they announced that, and like the movie did so well. They're like, hey, are you thinking about doing a second one by chance? Like, you can write whatever you want, or we'll publish it.
Well, I knew the movie did well, but I didn't realize how well it actually did.
Yeah.
The 2018 movie took in more than $582 million worldwide.
For it being like a movie that, like, I don't know, for it not being like a MCU movie or any of these other ones.
Well, and every time I saw it, the theater, I mean, there was a smattering of people, but it wasn't packed.
Yeah.
So, maybe it did better overseas than it did here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be the second book that I've read in years.
Yeah. So speaking of movies, Chris Hemsworth is going to be playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic, and he is all ready for it. It was announced last year that the actor would be playing the iconic wrestler in the movie that will be focusing primarily on Hulk Hogan's rise to fame in the 1980s. It will be directed by Joker's Todd Phillips. Speaking in a new interview, Hemsworth had talked about the body transformation that he would have to undergo to get the look just right. This movie is going to be a really fun project, he said. He told Total Film, as you can imagine, the preparations for the role will be insanely physical. I will have to put on more size than I have ever had to, even for the Thor movies. And then there is an accent that he'll have to do, and he's also looking forward to...
That's right, brother!
He's also looking forward to having to wear the mustache and bleach his hair. It's going to be dropped on Netflix. They've yet to say when. It's probably going to be in the next year or so. But
I personally can't wait.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be... It's going to be either really cool or an epic train wreck. Because...
Okay, so first off, it's got an awesome person that's going to be playing the role, right?
Yes.
It's got a great director.
Yes.
I'm not seeing a problem with it. Like, this director, he knows how to handle, the subtle new... I don't know if he knows how to handle wrestling, necessarily, but that'd be kind of interesting for them to, get into this whole wrestling culture.
Right.
Especially in the 80s, when it was, the golden era for it, right?
Yes.
You got these zany, over-the-top guys that, were coming from, just these podunk random places where they'd fight each other to actually getting paid to, you know what I mean? Kind of that whole rise. And transitioning from backyard brawls to the big, the big show.
Yeah. No pun intended. Pro wrestling back in the 80s, it was so different than what it is now. Because people back then, wrestling fans back then, how do I put this nicely? Were stupid.
Rednecks?
Well, but they thought it was real.
Yeah.
I've seen interviews of them back then, and the reporter asked them, "Do you think this is real?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they really,
absolutely,
they really hate each other."
Yeah,
like, come on, guys, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
But yeah, and it was a dark, seedy, dirty time,
right? Back
in the 80s,
there were some shady deals going on.
Oh yeah,
and these guys would do whatever it took in order to get in the ring.
Yeah,
right. Physically paying, they can hit me with a table, or I'll jump off this 2-story building and land on a chair or something stupid like that.
Yeah. But what I'm looking forward to is that side of it. I want to see that the behind the scenes,
right,
of the wrestling world, because that's what I'm
transactions that took place.
Because that's what I'm interested in now. That's what I seek out now when I watch this stuff. I'm not I don't watch, the weekly shows or anything, but I'm watching like documentaries that are coming out now.
Right. So I feel like this is going to it's going to be really reminiscent of that movie that came out years ago, The Wrestler.
The Wrestler?
Mm-hmm. Right? I hope it's got that kind of a vibe to it.
Yeah, I hope so too. And
do you think that you'd also see like a lot more of these other iconic characters as well? I mean, they'd be in,
I imagine they'd have to throw some of them in. At least one or two, maybe like a Ric Flair or like Macho Man.
Yeah,
maybe Andre. They've got to do Andre the Giant.
Right.
His big battle with Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 3 that happened in 80.
Yeah.
They've got to do that.
It'll be interesting also to see his transformation because Chris Hemsworth is typically known for being like super lean and muscular, right? Hulk Hogan, I mean, he was buff, but
Hulk Hogan was never like ripped.
Dad bod buff.
Yeah.
Kind of a deal.
Hulk Hogan was, and still is, he's a thick dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the 24-inch pythons,
Yeah.
Largest arms in the world. So I would be interested to see if Chris Hemsworth can actually reach that.
Right.
Because if anybody can, it's him.
Do you think they would kind of go to the direction that they did with the, where he was playing Fat Thor? With body, where he doesn't actually have to like put on that much weight?
I don't think so.
Really?
The way he
method?
was,
yeah.
The way he was talking about there, I think he's gonna go full bore with this, and he's gonna do the whole transformation,
bulk up and just get big.
I mean, it's not like Hulk Hogan's dead; he's still alive, so you can talk to him and go, "Okay, how did you train? What did you eat?"
Right.
He can get all the information he needs, and Hulk Hogan loves to talk about himself, so
there you go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be cool.
You get a lot of these other people that will kind of like keep their mouth shut about darker periods in American history that don't like to talk about it, and then like they come up with these movies that the family then says like, oh, that wasn't accurate at all.
Yeah.
But you've got Hulk Hogan still alive, loves to talk about it. Yeah. He's like a whale of just like knowledge.
He is.
Yeah.
You're like, let me tell you where the bodies are buried, brother.
Plus, it'd give him a chance to actually like get the voice down.
Yeah.
You think that would be pretty difficult for him? Where is Chris Hemsworth? He's Australian?
He's Australian.
Right?
Yeah.
Will that be kind of interesting to see if he can do the voice?
I mean, he's done an American accent before, and it's been fine.
Right.
Although, well, Thor wasn't entirely, he wasn't an American accent. I don't know what Thor's accent was. It was weird. Norse? Yeah.
Something. Denmark, Deutschland? I don't know.
Yeah, but, I mean, Hulk Hogan has such a unique way of speaking.
Right.
Especially when he's in the ring. Like, he has a certain cadence to how he speaks. And you've got to say brother all the time. Yeah. And let me tell you something, Mean Gene. No, I look forward. I just want to see Chris Hemsworth do some of those old wrestling promos that Hulk Hogan did. I think that'll be hilarious. Wearing the red and blue tights and everything.
It would be one of those scenes where where you see the cameraman. They're filming the cameraman as he's doing this like commercial.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just so you can kind of see as he's like, all right, okay.
Like, yeah,
he's hitting himself,
he's getting
kind of
ready.
Like psyching himself up for this. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Then he gets him like getting into character, and I think that'd be cool. I'm looking forward to it. So this is kind of sad. Naya Rivera, former Glee star, is missing. 4-year-old son found alone on boat.
Yeah, I saw this like when it first like dropped and people were out looking for her.
At this point,
think she's
dead? I don't think she survived.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, okay, so she disappeared on California's Lake Piru.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, from what I've read, that lake is notorious for people drowning in it.
What was the whole purpose for her leaving?
That's
right.
What they're trying to figure out.
Especially, was it late at night as well?
Mommy
will be back, and jumps into the water for a late night swim.
Let's see. A 4-year-old son rented a pontoon. She rented a pontoon around 1 p.m. local time Wednesday. Around 4 p.m., another boater discovered the craft in question. So it was in the afternoon. But yeah, so she wasn't there. Her life jacket was still in the boat.
Right.
Her son was still, 4-year-old son was still in the boat, and he was wearing a life jacket, but she was nowhere to be found. So it seems like, I don't know why she would get out of the boat in the first place.
Intentional, perhaps?
Or maybe she just, if she was going to go for like a swim or something, 1, put the life vest on.
Yeah.
And 2, don't just leave your kid in the boat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. That's going to be pretty traumatic for that kid, right?
Yeah. At this time, the updates that I've seen, it's basically...
They're dredging the
it's a recovery. Mm-hmm. It's a body recovery at this point.
Yeah. What do they usually say, like after the first 48 or 72 hours?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Was it docked, the boat, or is it just out in the middle of the lake?
I think it was out in the middle of the lake.
Dang.
Yeah. And the weird thing about this isn't the first former star of this show that has died in a pretty horrific way.
Yeah. You think that's a conspiracy?
She's the third.
Yeah.
There was Corey Monteith, who died of a drug overdose.
Mm-hmm.
There
Allegedly.
No, he did. Nothing alleged about it. There was the
I'm
guy
trying to add a little spice to this.
Right. There was the guy who played Puck. I don't remember his name, but he committed suicide.
Yeah, allegedly,
because he was a pervert and had a collection of child porn.
Oh, geez.
And the law came after him. So
yeah,
and then her. So that's 3 that are now dead.
From Glee.
From Glee.
Wow.
That name of that show is becoming very ironic at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, I haven't seen any updates since, but
it's not looking so good. But hopefully, I don't know. I know it's a long shot, but hopefully they do find her, and she's just like, oh yeah, I kind of went on a bender, you know. I don't know. Swam to the shore, went to clubs, or I don't know. I guess you'd have to look in that surrounding area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's dead.
I'm trying to be hopeful, optimistic.
Okay.
Here.
Oh, sorry.
Trying to make people more happy and gleeful.
Right. Yeah, apparently that lake is... there's so much debris down there,
You dive in the water, you could just hit your head and boom.
Yeah, or your ankle or something could get caught, and yeah, and the water isn't clear; it's really murky, and it's just not the best place to jump out of the boat.
Duly noted.
Yeah.
So lastly, a Batman television spin-off of Gotham PD, directed by Matt Reeves, has been ordered by HBO Max. This is even before, because Matt Reeves, he's going to be directing the new Batman movie.
The Batman,
right?
Yeah.
And he already wants to do a spin-off, which HBO Max has picked up. The series would be overseen by Reeves and also Terrence Winter, who did Boardwalk Empire, and will be set in Reeves' universe that he's created with the Batman. It'll be primarily focusing on the Gotham City.
That's what it'll be called. It'll be called The Gotham.
Yes. Primarily focused on the PD, Gotham PD, but I don't know. I think this is a little preemptive.
Well, that, and they tried this once.
Right?
With the Gotham TV show. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here's the problem with the Gotham TV show.
No Batman.
Yeah. No Batman.
Well, I mean,
and
later on, yeah, like as a kid, he's a vigilante fighter.
But nobody cares.
Right.
I don't want to watch again, and I said this when Gotham was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to watch a TV show set in Gotham City with no Batman.
Right.
That's not interesting to me.
And as much as I love Batman, I think they need to like give it a rest a little bit.
I agree.
Sleeping vigilantes lie. I don't know. or something.
Now, I will say the first season was pretty good of Gotham.
Do you think that this will all... Oh, yeah, because they had, like, the zany, that balloon dude that's, like, sending people off up into space.
Yeah.
And they had, like, these zany characters. And then even, like, when they introduced the Penguin, right, was kind of an interesting twist.
Yeah, it was a good season, but then it just kind of fell off a cliff after that.
Do you think this will also shape the direction that they go with the movie The Batman? Because you want to kind of like introduce some of these characters that are going to be in this TV show?
I don't know.
Do you remember if they announced Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before they finished some of the other movies? Well, I guess they did before they finished some of the other movies, right?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out after the Avengers. So it was like 2013, 2014, around there.
Right.
And Coulson had already been well developed as a character.
Right.
Everybody knew who he was. That's why people watched the show in the first place.
But these characters are unknown.
They've
already ordered it.
I don't know.
I think HBO Max might just be like grasping at anything they possibly can right now.
That's what it seems like.
Right?
They're just like, oh, well, we'll take this, and we'll take this, and we'll buy this, and we'll do this.
Coming soon. Like, subscribe.
Yeah. We have Friends, and we have this.
Yeah, how did they get Friends? That's such an odd pairing.
Money, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know how they got the rights. How they wrestled that away from Netflix. I have no idea.
Like Netflix is like, we're letting it like dropping it after next year anyways. You can have our leftovers.
Yeah, here you go. Everybody's already watched it. So.
Yeah, they've binge watched it 4 or 5 times. Look, we can see how many times they've watched it. Yeah, you
and
can
look,
have it now.
We still have The Office, so
booyah. Which that could possibly be going away soon, like in like a year or two as well.
That'd make people upset.
Oh yeah.
But like I said with Friends. Everybody, there's still things called DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy whole seasons on these DVDs.
Yeah,
little round disc that you stick into this little device, and it plays magically on your TV. It's amazing. I know I sound like an old man,
especially now that we've got like Blu-ray and 4K.
Right. Yeah, I should have said Blu-ray. I don't know why I went DVD.
VHS tapes that you can like watch your friends on.
Yeah.
Although my mom was saying back in the day, her parents had to rent a VHS player from the local like movie place.
They were expensive.
Yeah. And after you rented a couple of VHS tapes to go with it that you wanted to watch. Then you invited all your friends and family over to see it. So it was like kind of this big like gathering, and everybody was all excited. They're like, "Ooh, did you hear the Pendletons? They got like they're using this tonight. Let's go over and watch it.
They got a brand new VCR player.
They rented it." Rented a VCR player.
To buy a VCR when it first came out, they were like $300.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like buying a PS5 or something.
Right.
Like those things were crazy expensive.
Well, I'm sure it would be closer to like, I don't know, buying a decent, like a really good laptop or something, right? Or something.
Right.
It'd be inflation, probably around like $2,000, I would say.
VSR original price. Let's look it up real quick.
Man, I love Google.
I know. Holy crap.
Which is crazy to think that we're actually older than Google, Troy.
We are, I know.
1998 is when it came out. A lot of people are older than Google.
How much... Stupid ad. I don't want 60% off of whatever. Go away.
I don't care that it can save me 15%.
Okay. How much was a VHS player in the 80s? Let's see. Okay. The VHS player was the new kid on the block, and with an original price tag between $1,000 and $1,400.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was when they first came out, like 70 something.
So that's more like $5 or $10,000.
Yeah. When the mid 80s rolled around and the VHS player had been around for 10 years, that hefty price tags started to see significant reductions. That nearly $1,500 top retail price had fallen to an average of $200 to $400, a fraction of the college tuition it once costed families. So let's find out then how much was $200 in, let's say, 1985 when we were born. So, 200 in 1985 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $476.57 in 2020.
So that would have been like $2,000, right, for a brand new one. $1,000, right?
Right, when it first came out. Yeah.
And roughly double.
But yeah. Once the price dropped, it would have been like dropping about $500.
Which then, today. I mean, okay, thinking about that, you could buy like a decent house back then. What, $60,000, $80,000?
Yeah.
Right? That's like a down payment on a house.
Yeah. Yeah, you could buy a house or 60 VHS players.
Wow. How much does that house cost? Oh, about 62 VHS players. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. That's how they, told what prices were back then.
Yeah. This car costs about 5 or 6 VCRs.
Like, all right.
Even now, like a Blu-ray or 4K player is not any more than, what, a couple $100?
Right. You can buy a cheap one like for $60. Black Friday, $40.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Times have changed.
That was a weird dive I didn't expect to go down.
Nobody knows what they expect from the podcast. Not even us, Troy.
That's right. It just goes where it wants to. It's like a river. It just goes wherever.
Pocahontas.
I was going to say, what I love most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice.
Yeah.
The water's always changing, always moving.
Very poetic. Very well said.
Thank you. So, let's get to our Revs and Recs. So I have a recommendation, and you have a review.
Yes.
So my recommendation is the new Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix.
Okay.
It's awesome. If you were a kid in the 90s like we were, when you stayed home from school sick, there were 2 things you watched. One was The Price is Right. The second was Unsolved Mysteries. And I remember Price is Right came on at 9 o'clock on CBS. Yeah. Unsolved Mysteries came on at 10 on TBS.
Okay.
See? I remember. So basically...
Still sharp as a tack, Troy.
Exactly.
You haven't lost a step.
My old age. Funny, I just forgot what I was going to say.
That makes it even better.
Oh yeah. So, if you don't know, Unsolved Mysteries it's basically like true crime. It was a true crime show before true crime shows became popular. And that's exactly what it dealt with, was Unsolved Mysteries. They would talk to the people involved. They would have little reenactments and stuff. And then at the end say, if you have any information about where Rico Sanchez is these days, mail us at blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Yeah, you had to send in a letter.
Yeah, or call.
No, you just have to, like, okay, a couple days later, he's like, oh, yeah, I last saw him on the street here, you know. Like, this...
Call our hotline, or blah, blah. Yeah, that's what it is. And so now that they've updated it and brought it in to the 21st century. And the cool thing is, originally, when you'd watch the original show, like the stories, they would say, you know, back in 1976, Rico Sanchez disappeared from his family farm.
Yeah.
But now it's like these stories are taking place like back in 2006 or 2011, right?
Yeah. Still unsolved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still unsolved.
I would imagine they get a little bit like darker and grittier.
Yes.
Right?
They do. They definitely do. A lot of murder. Some aliens.
Okay.
There's one episode that deals with aliens. But yeah, they're just fun to watch. You know, and it's a good nostalgia trip, but at the same time it's current, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And now, you know, they can I don't know, like the technology's different. Like there was one episode where it had these sisters. It was the last episode of the season. We had these sisters talking about, you know, their mom, how terrible she was, and she probably ended up killing people. And then one sister disappeared, and they're pretty sure that their mom killed her. And so they got this guy where to bring out this device that literally scans the ground, and they went out to where they thought the sister was, could possibly be buried, and they went and had him scan the ground, and like it uses like I think radar or sonar or whatever.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Kind of pinpoint where she was at.
Yeah, or where she could possibly be. Yeah.
Okay. Or at least the direction that she was like going.
Yeah. Now whether or not that device found her, I'm not gonna say.
Right.
You'll have to watch.
Or send in a letter.
Or call our hotline.
If you want the answer, like, call our hotline and we'll call you back.
Yeah, it's just, you know, true crime shows are really big right now, and, you know, it's dealing with your nostalgia, and it gives you that comfortable hit of nostalgia, but at the same time, it's new. It's brand new stories.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I was thinking about calling them or sending a letter about my ex-father-in-law's murder.
Okay.
Because that's still unsolved.
Huh. You can actually send in, like, unsolved mysteries?
Well, that's what I want to find out. I want to, like,
yeah,
get on their website or something and see if, you know, see if I can contact him and go, hey, here's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be way cool.
Yeah, that way they could interview me. They could interview, you know, other people.
Troy's got
me.
a couple of voices. He's just like, voice actor, Troy Wood. Yeah, like it says it down below.
Yeah, you know, be like, oh, you know, I don't know exactly, you know, what the guy looked like, but he might have sounded a little something like this.
Throwing a little plug.
Yeah. WorldWarG.podbean.com.
You're like holding up this piece of paper.
Wearing my World War G shirt. Drinking out of my mug.
Yeah. Let me sit down, recline. This has a lot of potential. Yeah. You should do it.
I'm going to look into it.
Okay. I just last Sunday finished up The Last of Us Part 2. This takes place 5 years after. Well, it's really funny because the game came out 7 years after the original one did.
Right.
The actual game, it takes place. The story takes place 5 years after the events of the first one, Ellie is now 19. She's a little bit more grown up, more mature.
Yeah.
And this is a revenge story. I won't say what exactly happens, but you hate a group of people. Like, there is so much hatred in your heart, like, that you want to, like, play and finish this game just so you can see if she does get, like, revenge on these other characters that wronged you in such a way that, whew, man, I was angry.
Are they Republicans?
No.
Oh.
No.
That'd get me angry.
In this story, you do play as two girls. Primarily, you're playing like as Ellie. Well, you play for her for about half the game, and then you go back and forth. And man, it's difficult not to like try to like spoil anything. But I wish that I loved the mechanics in this game. The soundtrack was amazing. This is like one of the rare games on the PS4 that fully utilizes the graphics card. Like, it's a gorgeous game. They add in a couple of new features where in the last one you could only crouch down. This one you can go prone, which is like laying flat and stomach crawling it around. You also have to deal with some dogs in this one. All of the characters that you encounter and that you're fighting against, you fight against zombies, and there are some like amazing battles that take place. There's this one in particular that takes place in a old rundown not amusement park, but it's more like a arcade. That it's busting these arcade units, throwing stuff around. This huge like zombie is, and you just have to get the hell out of the way. And yeah, the overall, I would say visually, it's a 10 out of 10. Story, I thought was a little weaker. Like the first one was a little bit better pieced together. This one, one of the girls, she has plot armor that you want to hate her so much, and you have to play as her like for a lot of the game. Like, I purposely like jumped off a cliff a couple of times, like just because I was so mad at her. But I wish they would have like put the story in a better order, so you don't like after this traumatic event takes place, then you have to play as this character, you know, that did this deed. You have to play as her for about 15 plus hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to have to do this like all over again, especially when they stopped at such a pivotal point. And then they're just like, oh, hey, now you have to go back and like, we'll restart this. And then they try to make you like care for this character. And she kind of does have like plot armor by the deeds that she does to help out these other people. But I think it was perfectly kind of described in this, because Naughty Dog is so good at like throwing in little Easter eggs. But they were talking to somebody, one of the people in the camp, and they're just like, hey, have you finished that book I lent you? And it was The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm like, that's exactly what it is. Like, Ellie, she's going around and then trying to like murder these people for what they did to this other person.
She's Edmond Dantes.
Absolutely. She doesn't quite say like 1 or 2, but I'll have to tell you some stuff after the podcast. But she's a complete badass. But there's such a contrast between these two characters that you're playing as, because Ellie, she's more stealthy and she's more like scrappy, where this girl is more of a brute force, and she's got like seriously, she looks bigger than Hulk Hogan. It's ridiculous. Like these pictures, you'll have to look up like some pictures of her, but she's a buff lady.
I'm gonna take on the zombies, brother.
They definitely set it up, and there was already talks about a third one. They definitely set it up for that. I'm for sure gonna play. I would say out of 5 clickers with this one, if like the first one I would have given like a 5 out of 5. With this one I'm probably about like maybe a 3.5. After sitting on it and letting it digest for a day or two, I'm just like, okay, I kind of liked it a little bit more. Like, it bumped it up a little bit, but that's where I'm at. It's definitely worth checking out. If you loved the first one, you like the mechanics in this one, and they add to it, and I can't wait for there to be a multiplayer.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Oh, by the way.
Yes.
Brandon Nance replied back, because I said, what about the other franchises?
Yes.
So he replied back. He said, oh, I thought it was one total. He said, Logan.
Yes.
The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Which technically isn't DCEU, but
I like it.
Let him slide. And Homecoming.
Okay.
So there you go.
There we have it.
Yeah. But he's the only response we got.
But feel free to chime in.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll still be there on our page, so feel free to go over there and let us know. So, here's where you can hear all of our episodes. You can go to worldwarg.podbean.com. You can also go to iTunes, Google Play, CosmicPotatoNetwork.com, or wherever fine podcasts are sold. On the social medias, you can go to facebook.com/WorldWarG Podcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our merchandise at shop.spreadshirt.com/WorldWarG. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. You can also call or text the show at any time at 385-240-1692. So call our hotline if you have any information on Rico Sanchez. I don't know why I picked that name. It just first one came to my head. So this has been World War G episode 275. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends. Continue to wash your hands. Wear your mask out in public because we're still in the pandemic. People make me mad. And don't be a racist dick. Alright, bye.